We have the latest on a Moorhead man charged with torturing and killing 3 animals last year. 23-year-old Jalen Greer was recently accused by an animal shelter in South Dakota of breaking parole by trying to adopt an animal. Valley News Team's Rose Itzkovitz joins us in the studio with an update from the Sturgis, South Dakota Police Department. Rose?
Andrea, Sturgis Police Chief Jody Vandewater now says he thinks it was a case of mistaken identity. Chief Vandewater tells me that though the 2 men could have been twins, there were some slight differences in build, piercings, and tattoos. Meanwhile, I spoke to some animal shelters in the area to find out what is their vetting process when adopting out to potential owners.
And of course, Drake loves animals.
Over at Gate City Bank in Moorhead, a local pet rescue crew tries to encourage adoption. But as much as they want to see their animals in permanent homes, they can't just be any homes.
Our adoption process that we go through is very stringent and very strenuous. They fill out a questionnaire about their animal preference, where they live, how big the house is.
Robert Ross directs Diamond in the Rough Pet Rescue.
What kind of animals they have. Are they spayed, neutered, vaccinated? How many animals have you returned, put down in the past, things like that.
Ross says after all that, they verify the info with the owner's veterinarians. But that's not all.
We'll then go and do a home visit with the family to make sure that they were able to follow up with all the information they gave us.
Take over. And nearby, Homeward Animal Shelter doesn't visit homes, but they have their own way of vetting potential adopters.
Wanting to make sure that these animals go to a good home and that, you know, they're going to be cared for and loved and taken care of.
We listen to what people say, and sometimes what they say and what they write down in the application or what a reference says is not, doesn't match up.
Manager Heather Clyde says she trains her workers to read between the lines, like one time years ago when someone was looking at a beagle.
When I mentioned, you know, she does tend to bark a lot, he mentioned, well, if she barks a lot, I'm just going to tape her mouth shut. So instantly, red flag.
We do have a do not adopt list.
We're always watching out for those things and trying to keep up to date with any news stories about cruelty or abuse and making sure those people do not get an animal from our facility.
And I'm told Jalen Greer is on that do not adopt list at Homeward Animal Shelter. He just finished serving a 2-month jail sentence and has 2 years of supervised probation. During that time, he's not allowed to possess any animals. Live in the studio, Rose Itzkovitz, Valley News Live.
All right, thank you, Rose. Homeward Animal Shelter also says, well, they carefully log a do not adopt list. Not every case is so severe. There are some cases where the person may not have been fit for adoption at the time, but they can always try again in the future.